Okay, I think it's live. Is it live now? I can't even tell. Okay, so let me just tell you about this morning. Really, anyone that even knows me by now knows that I just go with the flow, literally. So I guess I would address Yvonne, Yvonne and Joseph and Javier first, because I do, and everybody else who inboxes me, I'm going to make videos and we're going to do stuff together and do hangouts and we're going to do all that. But how my life works, I just literally go with the flow. So I never know or like have anything planned, or I just do it when I do it. So this morning, well, like 2 days ago, I'll keep it quick because I know some people just want to hear what I have to say about the laws of prosperity. But like 2 days ago, I was talking to my friend in Hawaii, Lisa, and we were working on our manifestation CDs. And I just started thinking when I was talking to her, and I'm not going to get into all that, but it's just funny how that came up because like 3 months ago, I started making videos about the law of prosperity. And I don't even know how I even did that because all my stuff was in a binder. But when I came home that day, my stuff was like on the floor, on my handwritten notes. So I was like, I guess I need to make a video about the law of prosperity. So let me tell you how I know I'm exactly what I need to be doing right now at this very moment. So I was like, you know what, Lisa, I got the book and I did all this for New Year's last year, but I kind of just go through and do what I do. I make vision boards and do all these things, but I don't really know all that goes into it. Right. So I was like, and the lady who I did all my whole thing on New Year's Eve with my children, this is the lady. And I didn't even know I had the book. I got the book like 3 months after I did that. And her name's Catherine Ponder. I'll put it in the link. But I didn't even know I had the book until after I did that on New Year's. And I got this like in April for like 10 cents. So anyway, that's just how life works. So as I was like, you know what? I did my universal spiritual laws because I feel like I have to put all those out for karma for myself because that changed everything in my life. So I was like, well, I have to leave that gateway for somebody else. But like nobody watches the universal spiritual laws, but it doesn't matter. I put them all in a playlist. But after I uploaded that video, I had time, right? And before I went to the pool or whatever I was doing today, because I had nothing to do, I was like, well, let me pull this out because I was just talking to Lisa about it 2 days ago. And where I left off is the creative law of prosperity. So I'll put this in a playlist because I already made like an hour video about the whole gist of this and what this means. Because even under all the universal spiritual laws and all the laws, there's laws in those laws, right? So I was like, well, let me go through. So as I was going through and reading, and I just underlined things that I can just point out because it's just so much easier than me writing notes. And I need to keep these quick because, you know, people have no attention span, but I don't understand how, if this is changing and benefiting your life because you're a spiritual being like I'm a spiritual being. So after I did this and I was like, I'm going to upload it, I went to my phone. And when I went on my phone, I saw 1111. Okay. And I don't know if anybody, well, people that know me know what's up, but so when I saw 1111, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to break down what 1111 means because I see videos all the time, but I don't even think people get the gist of what numbers mean. So right after I was like, well, let me go ahead and finish and pick up the actual book because I'm always doing stuff like, how can I better somebody else? But I never pick up the book and actually do it my damn self and like have quiet time. I'm always thinking, how can I do this for somebody else? How can I do this? How can I do that? So I'm doing it my damn self. And then I'll just leave breadcrumbs along the way. So if anybody else wants to do it, you can do it as well. So hold on, let me log in my thing just in case. Even though I don't really want to even make this about a whole chat, I'm just going to talk and then that's just what it's going to be. Okay, so I'm not going to even do my live chat. So just listen to what I have to say or don't. It doesn't matter to me. So anyway, so as I said, I went through all this whole chapter because I had to keep it simple, right? Because our minds are so simple. So I went and underlined all my stuff, and my video I uploaded this morning about the spiritual laws had like 10 more minutes. So I went and cleaned up my house. And then, but right when I got done, I saw 1111 on my phone. So let me just explain a little bit what 1111 is. So to keep it simple, 1111 is a form of synchronicity. We get a feeling from seeing the numbers because they seem to jump out at us. To connect with us, really what is happening is that you're feeling in sync with that pulse of life, which runs through all things for a moment. You feel it one rather than separate and alone. So I went to what 1111 means because I just know what it means to me, but I don't really know like to explain it to somebody else. But I know my one video where I saw 1010 has like 800 views. So people obviously see numbers too. So you can, I should put this link in there, but I went to www.ask/angels.com. And let me go back to where it was at. So basically, we're getting all that. But anyway, so it just says whatever you were doing right before you saw that number is what you need to be doing. So let me just get straight into it. So what I'm going over is the creative law of prosperity. Okay, this is under the universal law of prosperity, but this is the creative part. Just watch the video before this one and you'll understand what I'm saying. So the creative law of prosperity concerns the 3 basic steps given in this chapter and the next 2. 1, having a plan, writing out one's desires concerning that plan and constantly expanding it. 2, mentally imagining the plan as fulfilled. 3, constantly affirming its perfect fulfillment. However, the first part of the creative law, as discussed in this chapter, is all important because without a plan and notes concerning it, the other 2 steps are ineffective. So she goes into the strong desire is success power. The first step in the creative law of prosperity is desire and the ability to do something constructive about that desire. There is nothing weak or lukewarm about true desire. It is intense and powerful. If properly developed and expressed, the strong desire always carries with it the power for success. The stronger your desires for good, the greater the power of your desires to produce that good for you. Now she goes into how can you release your deep-seated desires for prosperity and success? By centering your attention on one big goal at a time. One big goal always includes a number of small desires that are automatically fulfilled when the big one is achieved. This shit is so simple, but it's so hard. So basic statements that you could write out to yourself, because remember, everything is sound. Don't get stuck into the language, because don't make me go back all the way to the Anglo-Saxons and the Phoenicians. We're talking about, because the English language is fucked. Okay? What do we learn? Spelling, spells, spell casting. I'm not going into all these stuff every time I make videos. Just catch the hell up where I'm at. So basic statements, because we're using our words as affirmation. I desire the highest and best in life, and I now draw the highest and best to me. Say that daily. Matter of fact, I just found something else interesting in this chapter I'm about to show you. Oh my God, these incense. Okay. But I'm addicted to the incense. Like, I just love smells. So anyway, write down your desires. So anything, an affirmation that you can say is, I desire the highest and best in life, and I now draw the highest and best to me. I'm going to say that all day today. Matter of fact, I might get it tattooed on my arm. So now we're at write down your desires. The law of creative prosperity is to take your deep-seated desires and instead of suppressing them as impossible dreams, begin expressing them constructively by deciding what they really are, and then doing something very simple but very powerful about them. Write them down. Make a list or drop some kind of potential plan which you should feel free to change, perform, and rearrange as it unfolds. This idea of writing out your desires and formulating a plan on paper clarifies the desires in your mind, and the mind produces definite results only when it has been given definite ideas through which to work. Many people work hard at prosperity in external ways. Don't y'all work every single day? What do I do every day? I sit at the pool. I do nothing, but I'm still living the same you're living, basically, because you're living check to check. I have to really work on this myself. That's why I make these videos, because I go back and watch them myself. So many people work hard at prosperity in external ways, but they miss the mark because they are afraid to get definite in their thoughts and desires. They want to live better and to have more money, but they never get definite in their desires about how they want to live better or how much more money they need. In fact, many people hesitate to get definite, fearing that they are telling God what to do. Now remember, I use the word God. In there. Desire is God tapping at the door of your mind, trying to give you greater good. If you suppress those deep desires, they have no constructive outlet and often turn into destructive channels expressed as neurotic tendencies, phobias, tensions, or perhaps as suppressions that find outlets through alcoholism, mental illness, dope addiction, sexual imbalance, or other negative actions. So then she just goes into the power of writing stuff down. Mind you, as a disclaimer, I'm just highlighting things for you. I left the title of the book in there. Go to Amazon, find it. Prosperity is a planned result. Prosperity is the result of deliberate thought and action. There is nothing hit and miss about prosperous living. It is a planned result, just as a bridge or a building is a planned result. Without deliberate, prosperous plans, there will be no prosperous results on a consistent, permanent basis. Ask and it shall be given. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened. Perhaps you are thinking that you do not really know what you want, that your desires are not that definite as yet. In that case, simply begin thinking about and even making lists of those things now in your life that you don't want there. So that list declares to speak, this too shall pass. Or you can say, be thou dissolved. Use the rich child of a loving father. All that the Father has is mine to share and to experience. Divine intelligence is now showing me how to claim my own God-given wealth, health, and happiness. Divine intelligence is even now opening the way for my immediate blessings. I have faith that all that is mine by divine right now comes to me in rich abundance. My rich blessings do not interfere with anyone else's good. Since God's rich substance is unlimited and everywhere for all to use, there is no delay. That which is not for my highest good now fades from me, and I no longer desire it. My God-given desires are richly fulfilled now in God's own wonderful way. Spend at least 15 minutes a day pouring verbal prayers and blessings. So that's just going over your list of desires and to work daily on their list, revising, changing, expanding them. She says, do very definite things, such as listing the amount of money you wish to make for the day, week, or month. Also place a time limit and definite dates by which you wish to fulfill this desire. She goes on and explains, you're not supposed to wonder, doubt, or question how the rich good was to be fulfilled, but they were to stay busy putting creative laws of prosperity in action in these simple ways. Affirm the words of goeth. What you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. We often declared, so this is another declaration, what we can conceive, we can achieve with the help of God. Does it sound too simple to work? Great truths and powerful secrets often appear simple. So simple, in fact, that the average person overlooks them and trying to find a more difficult way. She says you can write a letter to God. Be honest with yourself when you write out your desires. Express, as did this woman, your really deep feelings. Don't write out what somebody else wants for you or what you think you should desire. Be honest with yourself and your maker if you really want happy results. She goes into, our loving Father always wants to have better than the best. It says, a loving Father always wants you to have better than the best that you are now experiencing, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. If you wish God's help in experiencing it, the least you can do is be honest with him and with yourself. Otherwise, you block any possibility of fulfillment. Perhaps you are thinking, yes, but what if my desires are not of the highest? Should I still be honest and list them? By being honest, you are releasing them instead of suppressing them. As you release and face them, a loving Father can help you readjust them for good. And she goes into, I have seen this principle work successfully in lives of people whom I have encountered in many counseling sessions. People who wanted spiritual help, but perhaps felt that their problems were embarrassing or shocking. They would speak of their lesser problems, but would keep the things which was really bothering them locked tight within them. It was only when they got at the heart of their problems that the answers and divine solution could come forth. And she goes back in to make a daily list. Another simple but effective way of invoking the creative law of prosperity is by beginning and ending your day making notes and lists. In the morning, I always sit quietly for a few minutes, often with a cup of coffee, while I think of my day and the many big and little things I wish to see accomplished by myself and others. I make lists of those desired accomplishments. It takes only a few minutes, which is time well spent because I then feel in control of my day. I usually write a note of thanks to God at the end of the list for the divine fulfillment and the divine achievements. It is amazing how many things are taken care of for me without my doing anything more than listing them and giving thanks for their divine for their divine fulfillment. In like manner, at the end of the day, I take another few minutes, go back over the day and write thank you notes to God for the blessings received and the good accomplishments. So simple. See, I walk around and I'm thankful for everything. So write to your angels. Now, this goes into a whole bunch of other stuff, but the one thing I will point out here is this man was like telling his story, and he said ancients believed in using the number 15 to break up and dissolve hard conditions. That's a whole nother thing. You can Google that yourself, but I will look into that because the ancients believed in using the number 15 to break and dissolve hard conditions. So when he wrote his stuff down, he wrote it down 15 times. Like, I bless and I give thanks that you are bringing to a perfect conclusion this business matter, and all concerned are satisfied and blessed by it. He would write stuff down like 15 times because just what I told you, ancients believed in using the number 15 to break up and dissolve hard conditions. I didn't even know that. Note writing gets the bills paid. Another note writing technique that is particular. So it's all really about writing stuff, thinking and writing and visualizing. Another note writing technique that is particularly helpful in getting the bills paid is when those bills begin to arrive in the mail, instead of silently resenting them, write on the envelopes, I give thanks for your immediate and complete payment. You are immediately and completely paid through the rich avenues of divine substance. When the bills have already piled up, it is also good to make a list of those owed and the amount owing, and beside or beneath each one, write out the same statement concerning their immediate payment. So just write that that statement on the bills. I'm going to do it. I just got 2 today. And then she says, I give thanks. You are immediately and completely paid by, and then you put the date. Then she goes into woe unto them that write about their troubles, gain controls of your past and future. The method is all powerful. Begin now by first asking yourself just what it is that you honestly desire most in your life. Be specific, be definite, and sincere with yourself. And write down your dominant desires. Thereafter, declare in privacy, without telling anyone what you are doing, the divine fulfillment of your desires. Declare, I give thanks for the immediate, complete, divine fulfillment of these desires. This or something better comes forth with perfect timing, according to God's rich good for me. Then daily change and revise your list as you feel led. Spend at least 15 minutes a day on your list. Dare to persist in this simple procedure, and then get ready for a landslide of happy results. More than you have dreamed possible will come your way because God's friendly universe wishes to be prospered and blessed. Again, I wish to remind you of the promise of the Goath. What you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Why not prove it now? As one prosperous thinker has often said to me, I find the results really begin to come forth only after I start toward them. The creative methods I have presented here are simple but provable ways of helping you start toward your good. After you do start toward your good, however, don't be surprised if it rushes forth to meet you more than halfway. So I just thought I would share. And how did I know I needed to share this with you? Because I saw 11:11 right when I got done highlighting everything I was going to share. So anyway, this is what I'm going over, the dynamic laws of prosperity. So let me end this. I'm gone for now, not forever.